It's starting to feel like summer, which means more social events, more weddings to attend, more nights out on the town, and hopefully more vacations. That's why I'm so thankful for today's sponsor, Honey Love, for covering us with the best shapewear. Treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/ratchet. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/ratchet. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. The summer vibes are just getting started, honeys. Shape your life with Honey Love. Step into summer with style and ease, thanks to one of our favorite sponsors, Jeannie Kane. I finally found a wardrobe that I'm completely obsessed with. Jeannie Kane is a California brand through and through, and their staples make getting dressed effortless, perfect for my summer aesthetic. Think minimalist and refined, with pieces like luxurious cashmere sweaters and iconic accessories to elevated versions of all your everyday basics. Find your new uniform at jeanniekane.com. Our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code RATCHET at checkout. That's 15% off your first order. JENNIKAYNE.com. Promo code RATCHET. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. Embrace your summer aesthetic with Jeannie Kane. Picture that thing you've always wanted to learn. Now, picture learning it from the person who's literally the best at it in the world. That's what you get with Masterclass. This year, learn from the best to become your best with Masterclass. Don't just talk about improving. Masterclass actually helps you do it. Masterclass offers over 180 world-class instructors. So whether you want to master negotiation with Chris Voss, think like a boss with Martha Stewart, or reframe your thinking with Ava DuVernay, Masterclass has you covered. Masterclass memberships come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk. And right now, our listeners will get an additional 15% off an annual membership at masterclass.com/ratchet. Get 15% off right now at masterclass.com/ratchet. Masterclass.com/ratchet. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who don't identify as either, happy Pride. Also, you're listening to Ratchet and Respectable. Y'all are so mad at me. I said at the end of last episode, or the last new episode, I said I may or may not be back on Tuesday. We'll see. And then I posted on Instagram last Tuesday that I was taking the week off. Apparently, a bunch of people that listen to the podcast do not follow me on social media. Like a bunch. Because they had to come find me on social media to be like, girl, where are you? Are you okay? The good thing about being consistent with the podcast, I mean, it's late every week, but it comes, like, you know, it's coming. But the good thing about being consistent is that everyone is looking for it. And then if it doesn't come, people get really, really concerned, which, you know, some people did curse me out. That's fine. I knew that part was coming. It always happens. That's a weekly thing now. But I'm also thankful because I could be dead in a ditch somewhere and no one could come looking for me. It's good to know that if something happens for me, Black women are going to come looking for me. I am still, unfortunately, in recovery. I was sick. I don't think I conveyed exactly how sick I was, but it was a big upper respiratory issue. Even talking too much on the podcast, I'd be winded like I just sprinted. I didn't have COVID, but whatever I got, my God. I'm still on the mend. I feel much better, but I'm still not back to 100%. And I've got some big stuff coming up. I can't tell you about it yet. I got to wait for sponsors to announce before I can announce and press releases to go out and all of those things. But I need to be healthy. I mean, I need to be healthy not just to work. I need to be healthy so that I can, you know, live and breathe. But also so I can get this bag. I felt well enough over the weekend to go out. I thought that I was just going to go to this place. It's called Old Biscuit Mill. And every Saturday and Sunday, we went out on Saturday. It's like a food hall, and then there's shopping. People set up stalls to sell their wares. And then they also have more permanent restaurants and more permanent stores to shop. It's just really cute, really vibey. If you lived in old Brooklyn, it's kind of like a Cafe Habana feel. Very grown folks, artsy. There's a DJ, and people are just like hanging out and talking shit. And then buying bottles of wine or bottles of bubbles because it's super cheap in South Africa, even without the USD conversion. It really doesn't make sense to buy a glass of wine when a bottle is so cheap. So people just buy bottles. And South Africans drink. I can't keep up. I don't understand what their tolerance is. I'm not drinking right now because of the cold. I'm on meds, and it's just not a good idea to mix them. Like, I'm trying to get better. I'm not trying to die. But we just went and we got some food. They had a stand with lobster tacos, which are absolutely amazing. They had this like garlic butter cream sauce. It was delicious. One of the guys I was with, he reminds me of this friend I used to have in Brooklyn, but he's like the mayor of Cape Town. Everyone knew him. Half the venue came by to like kiss the ring. He knows everybody. Most of the guys were gay, so they weren't hitting on me and they were acting normal. We just had regular adult conversation, and it was nice and respectful and kind and funny, and it went all over the place, and it was good. I only point this out because we leave there. This is not how I was expecting the day to go. It was getting really cold. It was a beautiful, beautiful day, but Cape Town, when the sun sets, it can get cold. And my legs were out. So I was like, So we left and we went to another party. Pizza Shed. Really, really good food. Like perfect truffle pizza. So good. So we get there, and that's when the night just gets super, super weird. I wrote about this on my Instagram, which apparently a ton of people do not read, because you would have known that I was not on post last week, but we're not going there again. We covered that. Thank you. I met like the worst crop of men I've encountered in a really long time. Usually if I go out and there's a bad encounter, it's just one person and everyone else is pretty normal, neutral, nothing to write home about. But there were like 5 men in one setting who were just awful human beings. I was playing wing woman for one of my friends. She was talking to this guy, and his friend wasn't taking the hint that they were trying to like connect, and he was all up in the conversation. So I was standing on the other side of my friend. So I called the guy over to come talk to me so my friend and the guy could just chat. So me and the guy were actually having like a lovely little conversation. It was good wit. It was banter. South Africans, just as a large generalization, are very witty people. Africans actually in general. It's a quippy, dry wit that I really enjoy. But we were just having normal conversation. I think I was speaking to him for, no lie, at most, at maximum, the exaggerated amount, it might have been 3 minutes. We were standing at a bar, at a restaurant, not a club. It was maybe 9 o'clock in the evening, so this isn't like a 3 a.m. conversation. I'm just giving context. And then also, because, the question is always like, well, what were you wearing? I had on a sweat dress that came up to literally like the base of my neck. And then I had on long sleeves because it's cold outside. It was a long sleeve dress with leather sleeves, and the dress went down to my knee. I wasn't standing there with all my titties out, just to give you context. And even if I was, his next line would have been inappropriate. He asked, completely normal question, how long have you been in Cape Town? I say, I've been here for about 2 months. So he says, oh, are you indulging in any? And I didn't hear the last part of what he said. So I said, I'm sorry. There was a big soccer game that was on Saturday night. The whole world was watching. Like 100 million people tuned in. Lenny Kravitz did the opening performance. It was 2 sports teams. Don't ask me who they were. Don't ask me who won. But the game had just started and it was getting loud in the bar. So I didn't hear what he said. So I leaned in like ear first because I wanted him to repeat himself. Like I was genuinely interested in what he was asking me. And he said, have you been indulging in any fucking? It took my mind a beat to process what he said, because I was like, he couldn't have just said what I think he just said. And then I was like, yo, this motherfucker really just asked me, am I fucking? What? I was horrified because he was horrifying. And I told him, I was like, oh my God, ew, I can't, oh my God. Like I was completely disgusted. And he was like, are you offended by what I asked? Nigga. I moved away from him. I moved to the other end of the bar, and then he tried to come next to me. And I was like, no, stay over there. Don't come near me. And he was like, oh, you're mad. He was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Just stay. Just stop. Like, stop talking to me. And he was like, I'm so sorry. 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 If you're wondering where my friends were, like the guy and the girl, they had stepped further away from us because the bar was getting loud. And so they had stepped further away to have like more private conversation. I was horrified. And then I had to stand there and I was waiting for my girl to come back. And she was only gone for like all of maybe 4 minutes before she came back. It wasn't like a disrespectful amount of time. But I was standing there like it just seemed like forever. And I was like, oh my God, this man is so fucking awful. And then he just like would go away and then wander back and be like, I'm so sorry. He was like, can you please forgive me? I need you to forgive me. I want you to say you forgive me. And I was like, oh my God, just get away from me. The bartender was finally like, is everything okay? No, he needs to stay away from me. What is wrong with men? Why are men? What Lizzo say? Why men great till they gotta be great? Like what? Not all men, but always men. Then there was this other guy. There were so many. I had noticed him noticing me, and I wasn't interested. He was an all right looking guy, but he just had like weird energy. But he had been staring at me, like staring a hole in my head the whole night. And it was kind of like ick and uncomfortable. And I kept positioning myself so that the guy was telling you, like the mayor, like so that the mayor's head was kind of blocking my face. So even if the guy could see me, I couldn't see him. The short version of the story is we're at the bar upstairs now, so a different bar. I ordered food and I'm literally in the corner of the restaurant eating my food. The guy comes over to me. He finally, I guess, gets his courage up or the liquid courage kicks in, whatever. He comes over and he's trying to like holler. And I've got like a mouthful of pizza. And he's trying to talk to me. And I, like, in order to speak to him, I have to turn around from where the food is on the bar and like turn and face him, like go back and forth. I ain't doing all that. I'm trying to eat. So he's trying to have a conversation and he's like, oh, you don't seem interested. You're busy right now. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to eat. Like my food just came. And he was like, oh, okay. And he was like, do you want me to wait? And I was like, yep, I do. Cause I, am eating right now. And he was like, oh, okay. And he stepped back maybe like 2 feet and just stood there watching me eat. And I was like, oh my God, like WTF. Keep in mind, I'm not in America, right? So it's a personal size pizza, but it's even smaller because the portions are smaller than what we're accustomed to. So I have 2 of these like kitty size slices of pizza. And then the guy comes over and he's like, okay, can you talk now? And I was like, I'm still eating. And he was like, oh, you had 2 slices. I thought you were done. Nigga, how you gonna monitor the consumption of food that you didn't pay for, consumed by a woman that you don't even fucking know? Oh my God. And I was like, nope, I'm still eating. And you know what? You could go. Like, you don't have to wait. I'm good. I'm in my pizza right now. And he was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. And still he came up later. I'm like, no social cues. He came up to me later when I was standing at the bar by myself, annoyed because the dude had said something crazy to me. This guy comes from upstairs. And he was like, okay. He was like, well, you're not eating now. He was like, can you talk to me? And I was like, bruh, I'm all talked out today. I don't have any more conversation. And he was like, I waited for you. Anybody tell you to do that? You decided to do that. What that got to do with me? But he was like really getting angry. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not interested. I'm talked out. Like, I'm waiting for my friend. We're about to leave. I'm good. Like, I hope you have a great night. And he was like, so what, you can't even talk to me? Oh my God. I don't know if this dude is going to flip on me. I asked my friend because I was like, maybe this is an American thing. Guys try to holler and women aren't interested and then they go crazy. And I was like, do guys here like flip on women? Like, will they attack you if you're not interested? And she was like, yes. Do you not know you're in South Africa? Jesus Christ. Sorry, Lord. The final guy. This is when I'm still upstairs. The pizza had come. The other guy had gone away. The guy comes from across the room. First, he like stationed at one end of the bar and he kind of like inched his way down. And he said, excuse me. And he said, have I met you before? Have I seen you before? You look really familiar. And I'm like, really? And I say it just like that. Really? And because, that's like one of them lines you see in movies. And he was like, no, seriously. He was like, were you at Old Biscuit Mill earlier today? I think I saw you. And I was like, actually, yeah, I was. But literally half the bar was in there. I recognized tons of people that I saw earlier in the day because we were hanging out for 4 hours. Like, some of them people started to look familiar. And then the after party to the first thing is the thing that we're at. So it's always an overlap of people. So the guy says, I have a problem. And I just stare at him like, I'm not prompting you because I don't care what your problem is. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to engage in conversation. I really just want to like hang out with my friends and just chill. Like, I'm not here to be hollered at, and I'm not here to talk about your problems. And this is all stuff I'm thinking. I just look at him or whatever. And he was like, do you want to know what my problem is? And I said, no. I said, you should talk to a therapist if you have a lot of problems. And he was like, it's really quick. Can I just tell you like the short version of it? And I just looked at him and I was like, I really don't. And he was like, okay, just really, and fine, go. Okay. He said, the problem is, and he was like, I'm in a marriage. That's what he said, quote unquote, in a marriage. That means married, correct? He says, I'm in a marriage, but he was like, my problem is, he said, I notice all the things that I'm not supposed to notice. And I'm just looking at him like, what? And he was like, he was like, I can't help but notice very beautiful women. Nigga, get your married ass back home. What you doing out at the bar? Where your wife at? I was like, yeah, no, I don't do married. Sorry, no, that's a problem. You really should talk to your therapist about. And he was like, oh, okay. So he sort of like slithers away. I go to the bathroom and come back. He's hollering at this other girl in my group, and she's really annoyed. And I was like, yo, is he talking to you about being married and beautiful women? And she was like, no. He said this girl just broke up with him. He told me he was really sad because he just got dumped. He asked that if he bought me a bottle of bubbles, essentially champagne, but they can't call it that because it's not France. But if he bought me a bottle of bubbles, would I help him cheer up? And I was like, what? And then a bottle appeared. And I was like, did she say yes to this shit for some free liquor? Did. It was such a wild night. But I also left early because I was so agitated with the men. Like, I was like, I can't live like this. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm sober. I noticed the fuckery and foolishness more. I don't know. But whatever it was, like, I wasn't built for it. And I was like, yeah, like, I really just came out to chill. I didn't come out to be prey or, I don't know, entertain a bunch of mofos that I didn't come here with and ain't doing nothing for me. Like, it was awful. It's starting to feel like summer, which means more social events, more weddings to attend, more nights out on the town, and hopefully more vacations. That's why I'm so thankful for today's sponsor, Honeylove, for covering us with the best shapewear. With Honeylove, you can feel your best even when you're wearing less. They've revolutionized compression technology, so you no longer have to feel like you're suffocating while wearing effective shapewear. Plus, they are the only shapewear that won't ever roll down, no matter how much you do on the dance floor. Honeylove shapewear features lingerie-inspired design details that you'll want to show off, and is made with breathable fabric that keeps you nice and cool, which is perfect for hot days. For a limited time, only you can get Honeylove on sale. Get 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/ratchet. Support our show and check them out at honeylove.com/ratchet. I love Honeylove's best-selling Superpower short. It's my go-to. It has targeted compression technology that distinguishes between areas where you want more support and areas you need less compression. Their Signature X targets and sculpts your midsection without squeezing your natural curves. It's designed to work with your body, not against it. This piece is also a booty lifter. Boost bands on the back of the thigh give your bottom amazing shape. Treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/ratchet. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. honeylove.com/ratchet. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. The summer vibes are just getting started, honeys. Shape your life with Honeylove. Every time I go on hiatus, and I don't do it very often. The last time I took a break before this was, Christmas or January? It's been 4 months since my last break. The sky fell then too. This time, I go on break. On Tuesday, I say I'm going to take the week off. Wednesday, Rolling Stone drops a cover story on Diddy, a 6-month investigation. It took me forever to read that article because I read it on my phone. They wanted $8 for me to read it on my laptop. It's the GP of it all. I pay for so much shit. I just cannot take one more subscription in my life. The biggest takeaway from the article, I think everything else we've either discussed on here or it's just common public knowledge. There was an incident with Diddy And I think Rolling Stone talked to 3 different people that confirmed it. At Howard, back when he was at Howard in the, I'd say, early 90s, there was an incident outside a dorm. He was dating a woman who lived in the dorm, and he was outside cutting up and carrying on. I pictured when they were describing it, kind of like Dap Dunlap in School Days. He didn't beat old girl when she came downstairs, but he was outside cutting up and carrying on, and the girl finally came outside, and he proceeded to beat her ass outside the dorm. And somebody went running through the dorm and was like, oh, Puffy's beating whatever the woman's name is, like, outside. Rolling Stone did reach out to the woman in question. She declined to be interviewed, but like I said, 3 other people corroborated the event. And I was like, oh, this nigga been wild since way back. I wonder where he got that shit from. Because his daddy died when he was super, super young. Like, you think his mama was involved in an abusive relationship, so that's where he got it from? Like, I mean, that's usually what the cause is. Like, somebody grew up around it. I don't know. Let's see. The Root has the story. All the major takeaways from Diddy's shocking Rolling Stone expose. Let me see if there's anything. The Root, their number one thing, is the same thing that I focused on. Diddy abused a woman while attending Howard University. Okay, they have the excerpt, so I can read it to you. It says, the classmate who requested anonymity due to fear of retribution says Combs appeared outside the school's Harriet Tubman quadrangle dorm, aka the Quad, and started screaming in a belligerent manner for his girlfriend to come outside. The classmate says other women soon began running through the halls, knocking on doors in a panic. They were sounding the alarm that Combs, known then by his nickname Puff, was attacking the young woman outside. Puff is out here acting crazy. He's beating her, the fellow student said, according to the classmate. He screamed and hollered and acted a stone fool until she came downstairs, another Howard student who witnessed the alleged attack tells Rolling Stone. She said Combs used what appeared to be a belt to strike the young woman all over the place. Speaking on the condition of anonymity due to the sensitive nature of the incident, the witness said Combs appeared, quote, super angry and was, quote, screaming at the top of his lungs. She says he whooped her butt, like really whooped her butt. The witness says the woman was clearly terrorized. She was trying to defend herself a little bit. She was crying, and we were telling him, get off her. We were screaming for her. A third source also recalled the alleged assault to Rolling Stone. The woman at the center of the alleged attack declined to comment. Also on the Roots list, this didn't come as a surprise to me. It says Diddy was allegedly jealous of Tupac and Biggie's friendship. Yeah, I could see that. Diddy took Biggie's place on the Rolling Stone cover in 1997. It says in 1997, when Rolling Stone approached Bad Boy about a cover opportunity months after Biggie's murder, they wanted the late rapper to go on the cover. And Diddy said no, that he should go on the cover, and he needed to be there to promote his debut album, No Way Out. The president of Bad Boy told Diddy, he said, let Biggie do this cover, and you still have an opportunity for a cover in the future. And he said, Diddy told him no, he's dead. It's true. Also on the list, Diddy beat up Def Jam music exec Shakir Stewart. He was also Kim Porter's ex-boyfriend, per Rolling Stone. It says, when the industry gathered for L.A. Reid's wedding in Italy that summer, Combs went to Stewart's room after the ceremony and allegedly broke a chair over his head. According to Stewart's mother and 2 of Stewart's close friends. Stewart's mother says of Puffy, he left him bleeding, him being her son, bleeding on a hotel floor in Italy. He had to have stitches, and then Combs threatened him, I'm going to kill you. That's when I said, you need to get out of this business. This man is crazy. Former Bad Boys president Kirkland Burroughs said that Combs in 1994 attacked a woman inside the Bad Boy offices. They said he and another ex-employee of Bad Boy tell Rolling Stone they had to tear Combs off the woman after hearing screams and the sound of shattering glass. Felicia Newsom, the first manager of Bad Boy's recording studio, Daddy's House, says she once held Combs when he was about to beat this girl's ass after a fight broke out between two women. She said, I'm holding him by the waist saying, you need to calm down. This is not your fight. It said, Bad Boy may have some ties to BMF. Yes, that BMF. The people on the TV show, them. That came up in one of the lawsuits, though. They said Diddy's dad, Melvin Combs, worked for a Harlem drug pen. Yeah, Frank Lucas. I've heard that many times. Heavy D helped Diddy get a job at Uptown Records. Heard that many times. Diddy shirked responsibility for a 1991 celebrity basketball game that killed 9 people. Heard that. He allegedly assaulted Steve Stout. Yeah, I remember that when it happened. Over that, is it the You Can Hate Me Now? Yeah, him and Nas. I wasn't even in New York yet, but that was almost public knowledge. The LA Times covered it then. It says, well, just give you context. Diddy allegedly assaulted Interscope Records executive Steve Stout for not removing him from, quote, a crucifixion scene in a music video for Nas's song Hate Me Now before sending it to MTV. It says, per Stout to LA Times at the time, he said of Diddy, he punched me in the face and then he grabbed the phone and bashed me in the head with it. 1 minute I'm in the middle of the meeting and the next minute I'm down on the floor and Puffy and his guys are kicking and pounding me. AKA they jumped him. Steve continues. He says one of them picks up a chair and throws it at me. Apparently chairs are his thing. He says then Puffy throws my desk over and they just walk out like nothing happened. It says Combs would later privately settle with Stout, reportedly for $500,000. That's it? That's a cool meal. But I guess it was 1999. $500,000 is probably like the equivalent of a meal now. It says Diddy allegedly harassed an employee, a freelance graphic designer named Anna. She says that she was allegedly sexually harassed in 2001 at a party at the Peninsula Hotel. Diddy was throwing a massive bash to celebrate his acquittal in the infamous nightclub shooting. She says Combs approached her and began to massage her shoulders. She says, I'm getting touched on my shoulder, my arms, my back. And he's like, oh yeah, you like that. I know you like that. She says, quote, it was really, really gross. And she said, I sort of floated my way out of there. She said she avoided Combs the rest of the night. And weeks later, her boss's girlfriend confided that Combs allegedly approached the boss the night of the party, the woman's boss, her direct boss, to solicit the woman for sex. The woman said, I felt quite unsettled about this for many years. When people ask me about my days at Bad Boy, it's just overshadowed by his crap. Also on the list is the girlfriend Gina. She had gone on Tasha K. And she said Diddy offered her $50,000 to terminate a pregnancy. And in 2018, he shoved her to the ground and dragged her by her hair. And in a jealous rage, once stomped on her stomach. Everything in here seems consistent with all of the lawsuits that have come up against Diddy. And there are many. There are 2 that we haven't even talked about yet. I guess we'll get around to it at some point. We really could do a whole episode today just on, well, not just on Diddy lawsuits. Kanye's got a lawsuit now, too. His ex-assistant just sued him for sexual harassment. Let's see if I can find this on, I was also on Rolling Stone. Oh, notable, this is not the only lawsuit against Kanye West. This is just the most recent. And I think it's the first one for sexual harassment.
Curious about how you can achieve smooth, natural-looking, long-lasting filler results? The Juvederm collection of fillers has 6 unique gel fillers that add subtle volume and are designed for different needs in specific areas of the face, like lips, cheeks, chin, smile lines, under eyes, and jawline. Ask your licensed specialist for a full face assessment today. And download the Ally app. That's ALLE, the official loyalty program of Juvederm, to save on treatments and get a look that's true to you. For important safety information and to find licensed specialists, visit juvederm.com. That's JUVEDERM.com. Not for people with severe allergic reactions, allergies to lidocaine, or the proteins used in Juvederm. Common side effects include injection site redness, swelling, pain, tenderness, firmness, lumps, bumps, bruising, discoloration, or itching. There's a risk of unintentional injection into a blood vessel, which can cause vision abnormalities, blindness, stroke, temporary scabs, or scarring. Talk to a licensed specialist to find out if it's right for you.
Step into summer with style and ease, thanks to one of our favorite sponsors, Jeannie Kane. I finally found a wardrobe that I'm completely obsessed with. Jeannie Kane is a California brand through and through, and their staples make getting dressed effortless, perfect for my summer aesthetic. Think minimalist and refined, with pieces like luxurious cashmere sweaters and iconic accessories to elevated versions of all your everyday basics. Jeannie Kane has everything you need to embrace your uniform, not to mention the most incredible home essentials too. Jeannie Kane is here to help you live your best season yet. And for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order. Go to jeanniekane.com and use code RATCHET to get 15% off. I get compliments every time I wear a Jeannie Kane sweater, and they're so comfortable I can truly live in them all year long. Their sweaters are the quintessential must-have item. Find your new uniform at jeanniekane.com. Our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code RATCHET at checkout. That's 15% off your first order. JENNIKAYNE.com. Promo code RATCHET. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. Embrace your summer aesthetic with Jeannie Kane. I'm reading this on Vulture. It says Kanye's former assistant, Lauren Pisciotta, Pisciotta. It sounds Italian to me. She alleges that Ye sent lewd messages and videos, behaved appallingly over the phone, and wrongfully terminated her contract. That's an amazing summary because I've read a bunch of stories about this and the details are quite, scandalous. Lauren says she was hired by Ye while he was managing his Yeezy fashion line, and she worked on 3 tracks for his album, Donda. She alleges that Ye would masturbate during their phone conversations and ask her if she could guess or hear what he was doing. This is according to the lawsuit. In addition, she says the rapper sent her sexual text messages, photos, and videos, which included content of Ye having sex. She said that she met Ye while she was running an OnlyFans account that she says made $1 million per year. He asked her to quit her OnlyFans job and solely work for him, promising to pay her the same salary she made from the app. And she agreed. She said the sexual harassment started right after she fully left OnlyFans. She said while working for him, she went from being his assistant to being his chief of staff, all while dealing with his alleged misconduct and earning $4 million. $4 million? Chief of staff is $4 million? What? She says when West fired her in October 2022, she says he failed to pay out an agreed $3 million severance package. What? I ain't read that part on the other side. Let me see if I can find this somewhere else. Let me see if there's other details. It's on Rolling Stone. Damn it. I'm reading this on The Guardian now. Court papers for this lawsuit were filed on Monday. He offered her an annual salary of $1 million on the condition that she was available to him 24/7. It says Pisciotta, a former OnlyFans model, says she was making $1 million annually from her account on the platform. Okay. But a year after hiring her, West said he wanted her to be quote and unquote godlike and offered her $1 million to delete the account, which she did. Okay, the same thing, just more details. It says after she canceled her OnlyFans account, she received explicit messages from West and he masturbated in front of her while on a flight to Paris. According to the filing, West allegedly wrote, "See, my problem is I be wanting to fuck, but then after I fuck, I want a girl to tell me how hard they've been fucked while I'm fucking them." Why are men? Who writes this shit? And she better have screenshots of this. And then he also added, "Then I want her to cheat on me." Nigga. She says West instructed her to deliver him a sexual enhancement honey before his sexual encounters, and he was fixated on the penis size of her boyfriends and sent videos of himself having sex with a model. Oh, The Guardian gives a few more details. They note that even before this lawsuit, that West had referred to having a quote and unquote, a full-on pornography addiction that destroyed my family. And they also note that former employees of Yeezy told Rolling Stone he played pornographic films during staff meetings and showed an intimate photograph of Kim Kardashian, his former wife. So although What the Woman is a Legend sounds like, absolutely crazy, there's a history of it. Let me try just one more site and see if we have additional details, because I can't find the actual lawsuit. Because we go through it page by page. Okay. I'm on Independent now. They got a few more details. I gotta find this lawsuit. They have a good picture of the woman. She looks like a version of Kim Kardashian, and he has a type. The Independent is describing more details on an incident we've already talked about. It says, allegedly locked the assistant in a room with him during a flight to Paris, the same flight we were talking about before, claiming that he needed to talk to her before laying down on the bed and masturbating under the covers until he fell asleep while she sat in a chair across from him. What? She is suing West for sexual harassment, breach of contract, and wrongful termination. And she's also suing West and his affiliated Yeezy companies for fraud, unpaid wages, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Oh dear. I mean, would it surprise you if he did it? He has denied it. I think that's important to note. He has denied it, and I think he's countersuing. I think I read. Let me go back to the Vulture article because they included an update. Kanye said that he was countersuing. His legal rep has called the lawsuit baseless and accused the woman of blackmail and extortion. The lawyer says the woman was terminated for being unqualified and demanding unreasonable sums of money, including a $4 million annual salary. And there were numerous documented incidents of her lascivious, is that how you pronounce it? Unhinged conduct. The lawyer goes on to say that the woman used, quote, sexual coercion to obtain money and gifts. There's more to it than that. Because I screenshotted Kanye's responses because they were just so unhinged. Baller Alert had this. It says, on one occasion, the woman, Pisciata, boasted about how the best moment of her life was when she was being ejaculated on by a soccer player while simultaneously texting her boss. The statement continues, it is well documented how she consistently used sexual coercion, that's where that phrase comes from, in an attempt to demand not only money but material items, namely Hermes Birkin bags, a Lamborghini, and an endless quest for plastic surgery. Upon having her advances rebuked, her blackmail demands have gone from $60 million last year to $50 million in last week's frivolous filing. Is that what she's asking for? $50 million? Not just the 4? Okay. Such behavior is entirely inconsistent with someone who claims to have been sexually harassed or experienced a hostile work environment. It is evident that Ms. Pisciata leveraged her association with Ye and his company and her proximity to him to seek material gains, clout, and employment through inappropriate means. Her initial attempt at a lawsuit for unlawful termination gained no media traction, leading her to fabricate headlines following threats of blackmail and extortion. This is shady and this is trifling and this cannot be true. It says Ye isn't the only celebrity targeted by Miss Pisciata. Jay Leno is suing her for stealing his chin. That's petty. That's very petty. The lady's chin ain't that big. It ain't that small, but it ain't that big. It shouldn't be clowned and it shouldn't be talked about in something as serious as a lawsuit for sexual harassment. Summer fun can get expensive, and when you have financial goals, you need to decide what's worth it. A Chime checking account helps you reach your financial goals while still enjoying your summer. Take back your finances with features like fee-free overdraft up to $200 with SpotMe, or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Learn more at chime.com/ratchet. With Chime, you get no monthly fees or maintenance fees. And my favorite part, you get access to 60,000 fee-free ATMs. Live it up this summer and make progress towards your financial goals with Chime. Open your account in minutes at chime.com/ratchet. That's chime.com/ratchet. Chime feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank North America or Stride Bank North America. Members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We all carry around different stressors, big and small. When we keep them bottled up, it can affect us negatively. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. I am a huge advocate for therapy. I think everyone should have a little, even the folks that don't think they need it. Friend, you probably need it the most. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I love how easy BetterHelp makes it to get, well, help. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ratchet today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/ratchet. I read the second page first. I'm sorry. I'm back on the first page. I'm reading from screenshots. I left out a couple details. It says, prior to her termination as an assistant, Miss Pisciata stole Ye's cell phone in an attempt to destroy phone records that would contradict her claims. We talked about the lascivious, unhinged conduct. Another little detail, it says, during her employment, Miss Pisciata offered Ye sex on his birthday, to which he declined. It says she also sent Ye unsolicited nude images, sexual narratives, and was seen... This is not funny. I'm sorry. It's so ridiculous. Was seen twerking in the office during business hours. They both sound crazy. But she says he did these things. He said that he did not, and that she did some things too. So we'll see how this plays out. This is a hot ass mess. I wish that was the last lawsuit that we had to discuss today. There's also a lawsuit against The Dream. The Dream is one of my favorite artists. Something about the way The Dream puts music together does it for me. I know he hasn't made his own album in a minute. He's a producer. But yeah, I'm reading this on The Hollywood Reporter. The Dream, prolific songwriter for Beyonce. He's written for other people. Y'all just want to put Beyonce in the headline. Prolific songwriter for Beyonce accused of rape and sex trafficking. The lawsuit from his former protege describes several instances of sexual battery and physical abuse. He has denied the allegations. The first paragraph of the article notes that he's a producer for Beyonce and Rihanna. Y'all just want to use their good names. Leave their good names out of this. He has been sued for rape, sexual battery, and sex trafficking. In a lawsuit filed on Tuesday in California, federal court, that's because of the sex trafficking, you got to cross state lines. His former protege said that he falsely promised to promote her career only to trap her in a, quote, abusive, violent, and manipulative relationship filled with physical assaults, violent sexual encounters, and horrific psychological manipulation. The Hollywood Reporter goes on to note, leave these people's good names out of it, but I'm going to read it anyway. They said The Dream is the hit maker behind Beyonce's Single Ladies, Rihanna's Umbrella, Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake's Holy Grail, Mariah Carey's Touch My Body, and Justin Bieber's debut single, Baby. He is also an 8-time Grammy Award winner and was shortlisted for an Academy Award after writing an original song for the remake of The Color Purple. He's known for his particularly close relationship with Beyonce, having collaborated with her on every one of her albums since 2008. Keep this lady's good name away from this man. Now, it's important to note that the Dream does deny the accusations. He says these claims are untrue and defamatory. I oppose all forms of harassment and have always strived to help people realize their career goals. As someone committed to making a positive impact on my fellow artists and the world at large, I am deeply offended and saddened by these accusations. I hope he ain't do this shit. I'm still reading on The Hollywood Reporter. It says the woman says Dream told her that he would write blockbuster songs for her, and he offered her a spot as the opener on Beyonce's upcoming tour. He allegedly oversaw all aspects of her life. Why does this sound so much like Diddy and Cassie? Isolating her at a hotel, controlling where she went, and having her check in several times a day. It says the complaint details, quote, violent sexual acts throughout the course of the duo's relationship, which started in 2015. It says on one occasion, he locked her in a dark room adjacent to a recording studio, violently having sex with her, and then leaving her alone, naked, in the dark for hours on end, only returning to again have sex with her and demand that she tell him she loved him. It says in another incident, he choked her after she rebuffed him. It says as she began to pass out, he screamed at her that she was taking advantage of him. The lawsuit also alleges sex trafficking. The woman says that he forced her to engage in sexual acts with different men across multiple states. On one occasion, in a movie theater, he demanded that she perform oral sex on him while another man watched. The Hollywood Reporter also notes this is not the first time the Dream has been accused of something like this. It says in 2013, his ex-girlfriend filed a police report alleging that he strangled her while she was pregnant, though the case was dismissed. I don't know what to make of these cases. You know I only vouch for myself. You think people aren't capable of things and you find out like, oh shit, they did what? I know that we need to actually have some actual like court time. We need the ball to get rolling. I know the legal process moves very slow, but I need it to move faster than what it is. All these allegations, all these lawsuits, we need to get to the bottom of it. Like, did he or didn't he? I need to know. I want to know. We skipped over good black news this week. My bad. Lupita's on 10 covers worldwide for Glamour. I ain't read it yet. I'm not not a Lupita fan. I like Lupita. But do I want to read like a feature cover story about her? Maybe. I ain't gonna read it. The pictures were pretty. It's like the 10-year anniversary of like when Lupita first came on the scene. What movie was that? 12 Years a Slave? So now she's on the global cover of Glamour. I imagine she has a new project coming out. I'll try to look at it for Friday's episode. Okay, I'll do what I can. There is other good black news. I know we all out of order today. We can't cover everything. We can't. Not in one episode. Trump got found guilty on those 34 charges. That's good black news. If anything comes of it, that's the thing. There's been so much that happens to Trump, stuff that he should be in jail for, stuff that should have left him bankrupt, and he always manages to like slip through. He's like a real life J.R. Ewing, except J.R. Ewing actually had real money. Like he always manages to wiggle his way out of things. So even though he's been found guilty on these 34 counts, I'm not convinced that anything's going to come of it. Like 34 felony counts. That's the other part. Felony counts. You've been found guilty of 34 felonies. You should serve some form of jail time. You should go to jail. You should. But will he? I don't know. The sentencing is on July 10th. We'll see. Because if he's in jail, he can't run for office. Or can he? Technically, there's no rules against this. As a convicted felon, there's actually nothing stopping him for running for president. Like in several states, he wouldn't be able to vote for himself for president now, but he can still run for president, which is beyond me. I'm like, it's hard to get a job at McDonald's as a convicted felon, but you can really run for the president of the United States? And can. Can you be president from jail? I really need this judge to lock him up. Give him at least 6 months. If Marilyn Mosby can get house arrest for taking out her own money, out her 401k, I don't understand how Trump, convicted for 34 felonies, you gotta do some kind of time. At least some kind of house arrest. Keep this man inside and off social media and off TV. I need him out of this election. Because if he runs, he gonna win. And if he wins, then I gotta stay overseas until, 2024? And then I gotta stay overseas until 2028. I can't live under another Trump regime. I can't. I told you I started watching Handmaid's Tale again. It's really good. It's even better now than when it first came out. Because before, it was like, this is so crazy. This would never happen. This is so wild. Like, never. But since Handmaid's Tale start, like Roe v. Wade has been overturned. There's been a rise of these incels and the deceased cult leader and that crazy shit that I don't want to say he implanted because I think it was already there, but he unearthed in men this wave of rampant misogyny amongst he is specifically amongst black men. He is part of a larger zeitgeist of men in America who want women barefoot, pregnant, unemployed, and uneducated and in the kitchen. This trad wife shit. When Handmaid's Tale started, we weren't in this place. So now watching it's so uncomfortable to watch. Because we're like, oh, we could be here like next year. Just FYI, Handmaid's Tale, when they do the flashbacks, the whole thing starts with conflict over population control. They need to find a way to make more women pregnant. That's the start of Handmaid's Tale. Also worth noting, the lead character, June, and her daughter, Hannah, and her husband, Luke, when they decide to leave Gilead, they're watching the news one day, and the leaders of this Gilead movement overrun the White House. They're watching TV in horror, and they were like, yo, we got to get out of here tomorrow. That means we all should have left somewhere after January 6th. Like, that was the shit just got real. We need to go. These people are crazy. Yo, y'all might need to pack. I'm just saying. I ain't telling you where to go. I ain't saying come by me. I'm just saying y'all might need to get out sooner than later for your own benefit. I'm just saying. All right, that's the episode. We covered like a fourth of things. There's so much more to talk about. Like Rihanna and his hairline. We'll talk about it on Friday. Because people are like, well, Rihanna got a hairline, Beyonce got a hairline. Y'all gonna complain about not seeing Rihanna's hair like the way y'all did Beyonce? No. Because we know Rihanna. She talks to us. Okay, we'll talk about that though on Friday's episode. Not everything, not close to everything, but it's what we've got. And then I'll be back on Friday. Like, promise. Will I be back next week? We'll talk about that. All right, bye.